What is good, Raider Nation? Post draft week. All right, we got a lot to talk about. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get the show on the road. Here we go.
J Raider, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest. Gas Raider Nation, from Oakland to LA to in Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Stand up, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Welcome to the channel. It's called Just Raiders, baby. If you ain't subscribed, then you gotta try. Just Raiders, baby, nothing but love for the Raiders. Been an OG before 93. Shout out to the nation, they always crazy. So nation, ride with me, taking over my style. It's amazing, making hits like Max on the blitz. The silver and black, on the attack. They on the map, if you a fan and you with that. J Raider, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest. Gas Raider Nation, from Oakland to LA to in Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, J Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Putting on shows like Brock on the go. We just like J Raider, the innovator, making shows like Good Morning Raiders, the originator. Raiders Unfiltered, raw, never censored. The post game reaction, nothing but action. Just Raiders, baby. Just Raiders. Just Raiders, baby. J Raider, the creator with the killer content. Hot takes and the dopest, yes. Raider Nation, the only nation. There ain't no question.
Just win, baby.
Win, baby.
Just win.
What is good, nation? Welcome to another episode of Raiders Unfiltered. I am your host. I am Jay Raider. Appreciate you guys pulling up and tapping in on this Tuesday night. Sorry, y'all. I got a little bit busy yesterday with work and whatnot, so I had to go ahead and kind of push everything to today. But here we are. Again, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button on your boy, share it on all platforms. All right, y'all. Man, oh man, how are you guys feeling? Are you guys excited about what we did this past weekend? I don't know. I am. We're gonna go ahead and talk about that. All right, y'all. So the Raiders have concluded the 2026 NFL draft and the picks are in. So we're going to go ahead and go over all that good stuff in just a second here. And man, shout out to everybody who tapped in this, over the weekend. It was phenomenal to go ahead and have you guys join me literally on Saturday on for 7 hours. 7 hours. I have the timestamp on the recording for 7 hours. Crazy Nazi word, but we went ahead and got a shout out to my guy Rundown and Farrell for pulling up and tapping in as well. So if you guys missed it, make sure you guys go ahead and watch you guys can fast forward, but go ahead and watch the replay of Good Morning Raiders. I had Farrell and Rundown in the building, so it was a good time had by all. Good time had by all. So, but yes, the picks are in. All the picks, everybody who got drafted, it is already on deck, and we're gonna go ahead and talk about that. Barring kind of time, and I'm gonna try to keep this, hopefully, under 2 hours or less. We're going to go ahead and try to get into the UDFAs as well. But we're gonna go ahead and kick things off right now. Um, Let me go ahead and pull this up. All right, we're gonna go ahead and tap in with the grades. All right. Let me pull up this one. This one's a little bit better. All right. So the draft grades are in, and these are the grades are given by the media out there. Um, uh, CBS, Fox Sports, all that good stuff. Um, you know, they're the ones who went out and gave the grades. So the grades are in. We get to go ahead and take a look as far as how we kind of did, and hopefully y'all can see it. But real quick, ESPN giving us an A, CBS an A, Underdog an A, The Score giving us an A, USA Today giving us an A, Yahoo. They said we were the biggest winner of the draft. So let's go ahead and put that as an A plus category. PFF give us an A minus, Fox an A, and the NFL give us an A minus, and then Sports Illustrated (SI) gave us a B. So, and this is kind of a little bit extra, and a shout out to Raiders History. Make sure you guys go ahead, head on over, give them a subscribe. But um, this is kind of a little bit of an excerpt. Top needs entering the draft: quarterback, defensive tackle, offensive line, wide receiver, corner. The Raiders have a new quarterback. We know for months it was going to be Fernando at number one, but the lack of suspense takes nothing away from the fact that the team just landed a franchise QB. The Raiders ranked 30th in QBR over the past two seasons, with five passers starting at least one game over that time. Um, and A, Fernando was a no-brainer pick, but Les Harold picks could be the difference in the franchise turnaround. Multi-positional offensive line Trey Zune the third and Jermon McCoy, first-round talent who missed last season because of a January 2025 ACL injury. At pick 101, they are the type of selections that build a foundation for a turnaround if they click. So there you have it, man. So good grades given all around. This is probably one in, I don't know, a very long time that we've gotten probably, pretty good grades. You know, as far back as I can think, we've always done kind of like middle of the road, at least in the eyes of the press, of the media. So to kind of get this score is I don't know, a little bit of a. I'm like, okay, we finally get a little bit of we finally get our flowers. There you go, there you go. Appreciate that. It's about goddamn time, right? um with the media always kind of hating on us, so or trying to find a reason for them to hate on us, especially the NFL with their fucking A minus. But finally we get some recognition, and Raiders doing really good things. So um definitely um definitely loving that. So um but really quick before we go ahead and continue on, and we're gonna go ahead and review these picks, right? The only one I'm not gonna do is obviously the number one pick. I mean, we've been beating that fucking hammer, that dude to death for the last 4 months, 3 months, 5 months, whatever. So I think if you haven't seen some sort of game film on Mendoza, you've probably been living under a rock somewhere. I don't know, maybe. But nonetheless, we're going to go ahead and go over the rest of the picks that were drafted from rounds 2 to 7. So we're going to go ahead and do that. But real quick, let's go ahead and tap in with the chat. Again, appreciate you guys rocking with me on this Tuesday night. Shout out to Jack in the building. What is good, my guy? Salute, salute. Shout out to Anthony, one of my mods here at Just Raiders. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you pulling up. Big luck. Yes, we do have a lot to talk about. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yaya in the building. What is the deal, my guy? Salute, salute. My boy, my guy, Chris, protect the shield in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up and tapping in. Yes, sir. All right. Yeah, you gotta put some respect behind that reader name, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. All right. So obviously the picks are in. We all knew Fernando was gonna go ahead and go number one overall. But I mean, you never know, bro. They could have got an offer they couldn't refuse, and Spytek ain't shy to pull that trigger, bro. We kind of know where he stands, but um, at the moment, what at that moment, I should say, he went with their guy Fernando Mendoza, getting the quarterback at least for the foreseeable future. Obviously, time will tell. The real test will come on the field. So, will we see that sometime this season? Maybe briefly, maybe. Who knows, right? Anything could happen in the NFL. But for most intents and purposes, we'll probably be seeing that dude during preseason. So I know Allegiant will be packed for that one home game we usually run during preseason, and I'm probably gonna have to go ahead and go down there and make an appearance to check out Fernando in action. So but like I said, I mean, everybody's probably more or less seen some type of footage with Fernando. But let's go ahead and kind of go into the other picks. Obviously, the biggest news also, and this draft wasn't. There was always a little bit of surprises coming down every round, right? But I think honestly, and this is kind of the thing where um, I think Spike Dog really hit it out of the park. Um, he was able to go ahead and do a trade, and I believe was at 134. Yeah, I believe it was at 134, and we went to go ahead and trade back into. We went and traded. Went back. Excuse me. We went up and traded higher. Went up to 122 and traded with the New Orleans Saints, and we ended up sending Tyree's ass out of here to New Orleans, where Raider Raider players go to die. Kinda, I don't know, but um, it's funny. You got you got our guy Derek Carr went over there, retired. Foster Moreau, he's still around, but I think he's just uh hopping around from team to team. I don't know if he's still with New Orleans, and yeah. So now Tyree's over there now. So there you go. There you go. Check. All right. Sorry, my mic cut out. So we saved around 4 million um uh from the cap when we went ahead and made that trade for 122 and sent Tyree's ass off to the Saints. So win win and fucking win. And y'all heard me last year. I'm like, hopefully we'll be lucky if we get a bag of chips for Tyree. We got a bag, we got a pick, and we got to offload some cash, some cap. So that's always a great thing. A guy that we drafted in the first round a few years ago hasn't worked out. I mean, you know, you and it wasn't that we didn't put energy into the dude or time and energy. You had Robbie Leonard's ass out there working with fucking Tyree, having work on different things, and still we showed very minimal improvement. I think probably the biggest year was last year. We started seeing some type of production from Tyree. So I think they were at a point, and shout out to Rundown. He said the best. Like, look, I've been with your ass for fucking going on 3 years, going on four. Like, if you haven't if you haven't figured it out yet, I don't think you're gonna figure it out, bro. So then there's nothing much more that we can do. So it made sense for them to go ahead and part ways. Like you heard, um, I think one of the scouts uh, on Saturday, they said, hey, we found that the opportunity came up, but we can go ahead and be able to go ahead and get some, you know, picks and make a deal and start fresh, not only from us, but for Tyree, giving him a fresh start, yada, yada, yada. You know what it was. Yeah, the all, whatever, how, whatever. They got to be PR friendly, and I get it. But essential, they're like, look, the opportunity came up. They were willing to go ahead and take Tyree, and they accepted. So fuck it, his ass is gone, and I'll take that all day. So, again, win-win in that situation. And yeah, man, Tyree Wilson no longer a Raider. He's a New Orleans Saints, but uh, it's just funny. But let's see here. We're gonna go ahead and start off with the. We'll watch a little bit of tape. We'll watch about a minute each, roughly. Shout out to my guy Shifty on X. Make sure you guys go ahead and head on over, give him a follow, especially for all the peeps on X. Make sure you guys go ahead and give him a follow for sure. All right. One second. Okay, cool. All right. So let me pull this up. All right. So we're going to go ahead and go with the first one in the second round. I picked 38 after trading back with the Houston Texans for their pick. And we ended up getting pick 91 from them as well. So we got that late third round pick. And so we ended up drafting Traden Stukes, safety out of Arizona. And a lot of people were like scratching their heads on who this guy is. Me, I was like, I think we went a little bit early on that one. A guy who probably would have been there a little bit later, but um, nonetheless, we drafted, and he was on my big board. Hold on, and I do have my big board here, and I want to let me show that really quick before I go into the film for the naysayers. So this was the big board that I had, and you guys can go back on Friday's tape, and I have him on here, and I have second round uh, on their safety. Now I had safety at priority 4, but you have Traden Stukes out of Arizona, bottom of the poll, but he is there. So a dude who has a lot of upside potential. Um, he can play various positions. Most likely he's probably going to be that free safety, that roamer. But this guy can also play nickel at a high clip. So, yeah, see there. That's the proof, dog. That's the proof. I'll show it again when we do our connection show. All good. I'm gonna keep it here. I have it, bro. So there you go. But it's on video either way. So you can just pull up the thing and it shows up. So yeah. So again, Stukes having probably there. I think that's a mixed review of there's people out there that say he's probably one of the best safeties uh, from the draft. You know, um, I don't know if he is that, but he is really really good. So let's go ahead and kind of catch a little bit of film on Stooks here.
Sawyer Robertson looking for the lead. Intercepted instead. Ear pre-snap when he saw man coverage with one of his receivers. Another play fake and a ball tipped at the line of on defense. No one with their hand in the dirt. Daniels bitten away.
So like another ball hawk, but you know, one of the things he is also reading that quarterback in different situations. All right. So that's a little bit of Stu right there. You guys let me know what you guys think about Stooks, but I think you know, with us needing a free safety to eventually go ahead and replace Jeremy Chen. I think Jeremy Chen maybe has, I think he's on this last year of his deal. Um, Hang on one second, I'll find out right now. But yeah, so this is his last year. After that, I think next year he becomes a free agent. So yes, so next year he becomes a free agent. So you know, it's now kind of doing the steps to go ahead and address that position, and not even that. I mean, you had Chin playing different roles. He was playing, I think, a lot of nickel last season. But you also need that guy who can go ahead and free range. I think with this situation, you can have Stooks be there in nickel if you need him to, but primarily I think this guy's going to be a free roamer, so he's going to be that free safety that we really need. So and definitely going to be that rotational piece this season, but probably full time going into next season in 2027. So, um, I'm excited about this pick again. He was on the big board. So I'm excited to see what this guy can go ahead and do. We literally like almost completely ironed out. Like we we immensely increased the defense, that secondary defense, um, where we had a defense last year where it was struggling. It was anorexic. We had we didn't know where we're gonna be, what we're doing at the nickel position, and again, you heard rundown talking about we need to go ahead and get a nickel, right? And sure enough, you know we have a dude that can go ahead and do that, but more importantly, a guy who can go ahead and be um, that guy that can protect that deep zone. So I'm definitely excited at that. Let's see here. Shout out to Big Luck. He says, as a Texas Tech guy, I knew who Stooks was. I just didn't see him going at 38. Facts, bro. And like you saw him there, probably late 40s, 50s, late 50s around there. So for him to go to 38 was a little bit shocking, but hey, it's all good. He's in, and that's what matters. So you know, I'm glad that we're able to go ahead and um, pick up Stooks. So, but let's go ahead and continue on. So after that, we had pick 67 originally, and we picked that pick 67, and we drafted Keyron Crawford, edge out of Auburn. Now, I'm keeping it being. He wasn't on my list. I didn't have him on my big board. I saw him much farther down. To be honest with you, but um, nonetheless, we did need an edge, and I did have edge on the big board that we needed to go ahead and address, and really start kind of taking more of that into consideration around that third round. And I had the edge position at priority five. But I did have quite a few. I did have some names on there. I had R. Mason Thomas, Joshua Josephs, Danny did the Sutton in that list. I only had three guys on there, but Crawford was not one of them. But looking at his tape the other day, I like what I see. So um, definitely impressive, and we can go ahead and start um, kind of really shoring up that other side of Max Crosby. Obviously, you have Malcolm Kuntz. Malcolm Kuntz is there. Quiddy Pay. Malcolm on that 1 year. Quiddy, I think, is on a 2 year, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to remember. Um, and then you had Tyree Wilson, but he's gone. You have Charles Snowden. But Charles, I don't know. He's not, he's deaf, and deaf, deaf. He's deaf, and he's not always consistent. So you have that. But so I think you needed that guy to come in that you can go ahead and be able to also develop as well. So um, Crawford, I think that Crawford move uh, was a really good one, and we're gonna go ahead and watch his tape and watch his film in a second. Shout out to my guy Miklo in the building. He said, Sukes was projected to be a second round pick. It's no secret he badly needed a safety. Love the pick. He's also versatile. Yes, exactly. Yeah. What Snowden can't hear? I guess not, bro. I don't know. But let's go ahead and let me pull up this Crawford film real quick. And again, this is Keyron Crawford, edge out of Auburn at pick 67.
And it's intercepted. Flags are down. High School. Miller on the carry, and there is nothing there. In fact,
There's a little bit of a two-step. He's also a Hannah Beer type of guy. And he has that. That's Crawford for you. Just a little bit of film on him. You guys, let me know what you guys think about Crawford. Edge out of Auburn at pick 67. So getting some more help for Max Crosby, or at least helping to go ahead and get some rotational help for him as well. Uh, and then you never know, man. You don't know how long. I know I hate to say it. I know some people are probably gonna be upset, but you don't know how long Max Crosby is gonna be here for. He can be here for the whole, for the next, 5 seasons, 8 seasons, or he could be here till the trade deadline this year. You don't know, right? But I think we need to go ahead and start coming to the fact that eventually there is a expiration date on Max Crosby. So we need to go ahead and start, you know, getting to the path to go ahead and address that. What, like I said, it doesn't matter when if it's, later the season or in 3 seasons from now. We eventually eventually there has to be a replacement for him. So that step could be Crawford. Obviously, again, time will tell. Time will tell. The ultimate test is on the field. So I don't know, but we shall see. Again, appreciate you guys pulling up and tapping in on this Tuesday night. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe on this channel. Help it get out to the YouTube algorithm, YouTube universe. Share it on all platforms. So if you guys are watching on X, make sure you guys go ahead and repost this stream. Again, appreciate you guys pulling up and rocking with me this Tuesday night. All right, let's see here. Uh, Big Lick says, I say Crawford was one of the most happiest picks the Raiders called. Yeah, bro. It was. It was it was really, really cool to watch. Um him taking that call for Spy Tech. So that was cool. Miko says, you think Sukes will ever be better than Morig? I don't know, man. Honestly, again, it's just he has to have that wrench time, man. He has to go ahead and have that playing time. That's really where we're going to go ahead and know. There's a talent there, it definitely is. The thing with Mark too, he was battling injuries, man. So you also have that. You know, the guy's good. I like Morik, and I was a little bit sad to see him go. Not gonna lie, but and I wish that was one of the guys that we signed, but it wasn't meant to be, and it is what it is. So hopefully we get to go ahead and see this guy really soon. I mean, obviously, right now we have, uh, excuse me, excuse me, we have Jeremy Chin uh, currently at the safety role. Let's see. All right, I gotta pull up the contracts and stuff for these guys. All right, cool. So moving on in that same round, again, we just went ahead and traded back with Houston, and which they ended up getting Caden McDonald and me myself. A lot of the guys. Shout out to Jason Downs. He called it. He said it before it even happened, and during the pre show, he said, "Watch the Houston Texans be a trade partner," and sure enough, you know, that's exactly what happened. We went ahead and traded back with Houston, and they drafted Caden McDonald. We ended up getting pick 91. So, but having that extra pick at 91, we drafted Trey Zune the third, offensive lineman, Texas A&M, and I put offensive lineman, even though he was listed as center, because this guy can play, different roles, different roles. So, you know, but he can play guard, he can play tackle, um, you know, very versatile. Just kind of depending what you want, kind of where you kind of need him at, right? 1 second. No, use this one. Okay. All right. Let me go ahead and pull this up real quick. Uh, let's go. Shout out to my guy Leo in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute, salute. Oh man, come on, dog. Give him a break. He's like, I didn't even say anything yet, bro. Yeah, man. All right, popping off, dog. Damn. Cool. What up? What's good, my guy? Hollywood Raider Jeff in the building again. My guy Jeff coming on. I forgot what TV they said you came on, what channel or something. I think he probably came on NFL Network or something. You got highlighted on there or something like that. I forgot. I think Jason said you got on there, bro. So there you go. Appreciate the celebrity in the building. There you go. There you go. All right, yeah. So let me go ahead and pull up a little bit of Trey Zoon, and you know, if you guys were tapping in on that day too, I was not happy about this pick at first, and I have a lot of different reasons behind it. But primarily because we just went ahead and spent some draft picks last year, third round, to go ahead and get some linemen, right? And you know, I thought we can go ahead and get some good value and good linemen the next round. Um, there was a lot of guys still out there available, and it's funny how that draft kind of was working out. There was a lot of weird picks by all the teams. You know, gr- you had some teams, overreaching on certain guys and whatnot, but it just kind of at least with the guys, it was kind of like weird on how we're seeing all these other teams pick their guys. So, um, but when it came to us with Zune, you know, I, I didn't see us getting an offensive line. I had it on the big board. I think was it the priority 5 or 6, 7. I lied, 7 in the third round because I'm on the third round, and I had it as BPA, and I don't know if Zune was necessary BPA, but um, yeah, it was not the guy that to go ahead and draft at pick 91. But nonetheless, we went ahead and drafted him, and I got to see a little bit of film on him, and you know, guys pretty good. Guy can block. You heard Spy Tech and his presser later that day because y'all heard me. I'm like, I need to hear a fucking explanation behind this because I don't see it. I don't see us drafting offensive lineman at 91 in the third round when we just went ahead and did that last year. We still have some linemen there, So I need to hear the explanation for that one. And then, they when they came on, one is a personality too. The guy can just block everything kind of in front of him. Spy Tech ended up talking to the head coach. He said this guy is basically, you know, uh, I gotta play the clip, but the guy's
He's pro
basically
ready. End of story.
that's what the Texas A&M coach said. All right, and the film is kind of indicative of that. It'll be interesting. Um, the guy can play. That dude is versatile. That dude is versatile. He can play on the right, on the left. But what I'm thinking is that he can he can possibly be competition for that right guard spot. We shall see, right? It just depends where Dennison is going to want to go ahead and kind of plug him in, and where he really wants them to go ahead and compete at. To be honest, so I think with him and just being, with the new group and everything, I think they're all just kind of. I think they know the strength and weaknesses to most of these guys on paper and on film, but obviously they're probably just going to go ahead and do the eye test, and wherever he's at, he's probably gonna be good. So, but we'll see. Yes, you were on TV, bro. I don't know. Jason Downs, I think, said it, or Nate. I don't forget one of those two guys. I don't know. Shout out to my guy Jack in the building. What is good, my guy? Anthony Estrada. What is the deal, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. Salute, salute. Yeah. I follow Genty, so I probably just didn't see him. So let's see here. All right. Let me go ahead and pull up a little bit of film on Zoom here. Hang on. All right, here we go. So this is this is Zoom. And then again, having him play center, tackle, guard. Again, this guy can play. He's versatile. So literally, you can go ahead and plug him in. Off the bat, obviously, deaf piece. Um, but you have. I mean, this guy is good enough where he can potentially go ahead and be compete for a position, right? So we shall see. But here, without further ado, here's the film. All right. So the guy's like 6'6", 313, I believe. The guy has good feet, good hand placement. There you go. Good shuffle. I think, and then here he has. I think the previous play they had him play him on. I think on the left guard. But this is all basically been tackle. So you really got him on that left tackle position, which is great. You not only do you have your potential Colton Miller replacement, but you also have that guy that can come in and be able to plug him in on the left side. If God forbid, hopefully not, Colton doesn't go down. But if he does go down, you have Zoom that you can go ahead and plug him in on that left side. And as you see, the guy's pretty freaking solid on that left side. So that's just a little bit of film on Zoom. Shout out to James Foster. Make sure you guys go ahead and go head on over to X. Give him a follow. If you guys aren't X, make sure you guys go ahead and give him a follow with the content, with the highlight content. There you go. All right. Let me go ahead and hit up the chat again. Appreciate you guys pulling up and tapping in. All right. Shout out to my guy Jason Downs. He said when it comes to Zoom, Denison version of completion will mean more, and I will trust more than Brent Carroll. Yeah, there you go. Gave you a shout out earlier, my guy, on the call out for the trade in the second round with the Texans. So there you go. All right, Raider Aid. Appreciate you pulling up. Salute, salute. All right. Let's see here. All right. Let's go ahead and continue on, y'all. But there's a little bit of Zoom. All right. So we go into day 3, and we about to go ahead and start, the day, and bright and early, bright and bushy tailed at 8 a.m. on the West Coast. Sorry, 9 a.m. on the West Coast. I started around 8:15, 8:30, and we're gonna go ahead and literally be second to pick, right? And as I'm going on, as I'm getting ready to go ahead and start going through this draft show, I see that we do a trade, right? And we ended up trading with the Buffalo Bills. We swapped picks, and I think we ended up giving the 7th for next year. I think they were the ones that we gave them the 7th for next year. And we ended up getting Jermod McCoy, corner out of Tennessee, at pick 101. And so, it was a little bit of a shocker that they went up and swapped picks to go ahead and get Jermod McCoy. Because remember, we're the next pick, 102. Did Spytek feel that the Bills could possibly draft McCoy maybe, maybe. And he fell off like completely from the first round. I think they had him like somewhere like in the middle, lower first round, and then he fell all the way to the fourth round. Pick 101, beginning of the fourth, right? If not 102. I think that's probably was a plan. So I think just Spytek didn't want to go ahead and chance that opportunity of Jermod McCoy still being there at in the fourth round. So they made that trade to go ahead and swap picks, and they went ahead and took the flyer on him. You know, and it to me, I think it's a middle medium risk, high reward situation, right? And I think Farrell said high risk, high reward. I think it's a medium risk. The medium risk is that we didn't spend a third round pick. We spent the fourth round pick for him, a guy that essentially is a first rounder, potentially Pro Bowl type guy. And ended up getting in the fourth round. So I think he win. Even if he doesn't work out, I mean it's a fourth round pick. So, but if he does work out, shit, you just got yourself a diamond. You got that little lump of coal, put in a little pressurizer, boom, got a diamond, right? So that is a potential of McCoy. You're getting a guy who's literally that shutdown corner, and we needed a corner for quite a while, I should say. So that opportunity to go ahead and be able to pick up a guy like McCoy, I definitely do not hate the pick. That I applaud that pick. Um, you know, the situation with the knee, yeah, it sounds awful, and from what it sounds like, it's something to do with a bone spur type of thing in his knee. I think if he were to fuck it up or something, um, it would require surgery, and then they would have it's like this crazy surgery they would have to go ahead and do, and if it doesn't work, it could essentially end his career. So that's kind of how it is at the moment. Now he's been saying that he's good, he feels good, and he's good. But if he happens to go down and he has to go ahead and get that surgery's not successful, you essentially that's it, career over, right? Um, he's also said that he's going to go ahead and leave it up to uh, the front office, the organization, to see whether or not they want him to go ahead and take that surgery. So it's yet to be seen, kind of what we're going to exactly do with McCoy. I don't tend to see him this year, but if we get to see him, great. If we don't, then that's cool. So let's see what happens. But he's all for it. He's all like, hey, whatever you guys want to do. You guys want me to get the surgery? I'll get the surgery. You guys want me to go ahead and play on it? I'll play on it. Right. So it's some type of degenerative ligament. It's a crazy thing. So, um, but um, if, hey, if it all works out, again, we will get that number one shutdown corner that we've been needing. So again, it's a medium risk, high reward type of scenario. So yeah, let's see what happens. But I got the tip. But real quick, shout out to my guy Alex in the building. Appreciate you pulling up. Salute, salute. Thank you for tapping in. Uh yes, sir. My guy, Raider Aid. Tackle that like button. Yes, sir. Appreciate you. Salute to you, my guy. All right. My guy Silver Smoke. I'm hoping he's good to play and we can get 4 good years as a starter out of him. Me too, man. Me too. We shall see. But um, but for those who are unfamiliar, who are not familiar with McCoy, is a little bit of film on him. Just kind of see what could definitely be. Here we go.
Hey.
Here you go, man. You see that dude just locking dude down, man. He's also that ball hawk, so you can go ahead and be able to go out there and contest that ball, pick up that ball. Guy can go ahead and he's a solid tackler. There you go. See, so that's a little bit of film on McCoy. Again, hopefully he, we get to see him play. If not later this year, next season. Next season, So it all depends. Obviously, I'll go ahead and keep tabs of this throughout the off season. See what's going to go ahead and develop with him. Whether they're going to go ahead and make him take the surgery, or they're going to go ahead and let him go out there and play on it. That's yet to be seen. But if he were to play, I that dude takes in some spots. Let me just tell you. We might see Stokes potentially put to corner too. I don't know. That'll be good competition there. If not for sure, probably that corner two position for Porter. It's just again, Porter has a lot of potential. I like Porter, but this dude is just he's just that dude. So I hopefully we get to see him maybe later this season. Who knows? But yeah. My guy Silver Smoke says the dude's a lockdown corner, and in my opinion, the best corner in the draft when he is when he is healthy. Yeah, bro. It's all about him being healthy. Um and what it is if you're gonna have him play, which who definitely you gotta unleash a dude. He can be that shutdown corner, he can be that threat, but you're also running that risk of potentially, really hurting that knee. Um, I think what we have to go ahead and kind of, acknowledge is that this dude is probably going to be like that temporary piece. You kind of know what you got. It's like, give me a perfect example. Like you went ahead and got this like 85-inch TV for like $500, right? The only thing is that it's refurbished, right? It had little problems like with the brightness or with the screen flickering or whatnot. They fixed it, or sort of fixed, right? You're getting an 85-inch TV, but just know that it might still fuck up. So that's kind of that type of situation, right? But hey, you didn't pay that TV cost probably like $1,500. You got it for $500. So you went in ahead, but just know you might have it for maybe a year, 2 years if you're lucky, 6 months. If you get it for 6 months, well, hey, it is what it is. But if it ends up working for the next 5 years, 6 years, whatever, on the long term, then you then you won. But that's kind of the situation we are with Jermod McCoy. But if he were to play, I definitely think he should go ahead and if they decide to go ahead and let him play, he definitely should go ahead and contend and definitely get him his reps. I think wholeheartedly that this is going to be stealing some jobs. So it just depends whether it's Stokes or Porter, but somebody's getting the job took. So we shall see. Big Les says, I like the medium risk, high reward situation. Yes, sir. Yeah, exactly. Because you're not, you didn't spend, your third round pick on this guy, which still a lot of quality players. I mean, there's still quality. There was a lot of quality players at in the fourth round to start off. So, but you're getting a first round caliber type of player in the fourth round. So, you coming out ahead, but that's a caveat to it. So he might he might not be around for a whole long time. So we'll see. But again, appreciate you guys pulling up and rocking with me on this Tuesday night. Man, I want to say Monday, but it's Tuesday. It's Tuesday. But again, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button on this channel, share it on all platforms. Appreciate you guys tapping in and shooting the shit on this Tuesday. Hopefully you guys are at the crib or at least heading to the crib, but you guys either stuck at work or heading to work. Hopefully this time goes by a little bit quicker. So appreciate you guys tapping in. All right, let's go ahead and continue on. So we had a trade alert. We ended up go ahead. We're at that point we're at pick 134. So we just went ahead, swap picks with Buffalo, right? And then our next pick was into 134. That was quite a ways away, right? So we're going through the draft, and again, trade alert, and I'm like, no fucking way. And then I see us move up to, I think we're like 119, 120. Then I see we move to 122, and I'm like, what? No way. So we ended up trading, I believe, with the New Orleans Saints to 122. We ended up giving them, I believe, 208 and Tyree Wilson for pick 122. And at pick 122, we ended up drafting Michael Washington Jr., running back out of Arkansas at 122. Man, that is a solid pickup. That complimentary piece for Ashton Genty in Mike Washington Jr. And so, man, we got ourselves a little bit of a, So obviously that's we needed that second back. You had Kubiak saying early on that we're going to go ahead and run a two back system. So there we go. We got our second back, right? And we're about to go ahead and pull up the film on Mike in just a bit. But how y'all feeling about this one? This one, honestly, took me a little bit by surprise, and I think we're gonna go ahead and get a running back kind of that early. I mean, in different scenarios, I saw was probably getting at 134, maybe 117 around there. Just depends, what kind of guy you wanted to go ahead and go after. When they have Mike on there, I saw him kind of go earlier in the third round, but he was still there in the fourth. Normally through my mocks that I did, I was drafting K-Tron quite a bit. I like K-Tron or Black. Black was another guy that was picking up around there if K-Tron was usually gone, and there wasn't a whole lot of quality guys, but Claiborne being also another one on there. But yeah, we ended up picking up Mike Washington Jr. Really solid guy, 6'1", about 225. So size difference is there. Definitely he's a one cut guy, but I mean, again, I've been saying it for the last few months. We don't need him to do a whole lot. If we just need a guy to go ahead and complement Genty to give a different type of flavor to to these defenses, or put them up in certain in a red zone type of situation, we don't need them. We don't need him to do a whole lot, right? Um, that's what we got Genty for. That's why you got your number 6 overall pick from 2025 that you're gonna go ahead and utilize um, if you really need, you know, big yardage, type of deal, right? If you're really running the rock, then you use Genty. But if you need to go ahead and kind of mix it up, or you need to pound that shit in, you need a one cut type of scenario. This is where you can kind of utilize Mike. So let me go ahead and pull up the tape for Mike, and that way we can go ahead and kind of take a look here. So the there you go. You got that one cut. And the dude can go ahead and also catch out of the backfield, which is cool too. But I kind of see Mike inserting like that type of like red zone type of situations where um you know again workhorse right here. I'm very pumped about this pickup. You guys, let me know what you guys think about Mike Washington Jr. Again, running back out of Arkansas at pick 122. Let me know what you guys think about that. Let's see here. My guy Alex says, feeling good on every draft pick. Okay, there you go. That's what's up, my guy. And then I'll ask you guys a question in just a bit. But that's Michael Washington Jr. again at pick 122. All right. And then we ended up I believe we ended up with pick 150. I'm trying to remember how we did 150. I think we traded it back into we went up on the 5th round, and I forgot what the haul was. I think we ended up giving pick 219, and I don't know what else we ended up giving up. But I think we ended up giving 219 and something else for to move up to 150. But at 150, we picked up funny enough, Dalton Johnson, another safety out of Arizona. So we picked up another safety. Again, this guy a little bit smaller than Stooks. Guy's 5'11", 192. He has speed, runs a 4.4. But primarily this guy, um, he plays nickel. This is what more of his forte is. He's more of a nickel guy. And so kind of going off, what we've done so far, it looks like we're probably gonna be, like I said earlier, we're probably gonna be utilizing Stooks more in that free safety role. We're gonna have a competition between the Johnsons and Teron Johnson, now Dalton Johnson, and as far as who's going to be nickel. And it's crazy when you had us really having Jeremy Chin taking a lot of the reps at nickel. I forgot what's the other guy's name that we had there, the de facto guy that was really also kind of playing the nickel position. He's gone now. Man, I remember his name the other day, and I can't remember it. All right, if it comes to me, I'll let you guys know. Sometimes it'll come back to me. But he's gone. Let me see. 2025 dead. Now it's gonna bug me. It's and it's like on the tip of my tongue. Yeah, it's a. I can't remember. Let's see. Hold on. It's Darnay Holmes. Darnay Holmes. Yes, there we go. Darnay. See, I was thinking about it. I'm like, there. It's like in the tip of my tongue. Darnay Holmes. So Darnay Holmes, I think, was the de facto, technically the de facto um corner nickel guy. And so, but Jeremy Chin taking a lot of the reps in that position. But now we have two guys. We went out and traded literally give up I believe we swapped picks 6 for 7 for Johnson. And so we ended up getting um a seventh round pick, or we ended up getting a 6th round pick for him, something like that, for Johnson. So that's essentially what it is. But at pick 150, we ended up picking him up. Um, that's for Taron Johnson, not Dalton Johnson. But yeah, we have two guys now that can play nickel, and they're pretty good, pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this film for Dalton Johnson, and I know most people are not familiar with them, and that's fine. And I'm trying to go ahead and get familiar with them myself as well. So use a little bit of Johnson. There we go. All right.
Laminated. Look out here. Howland flung for a huge loss.
Guy has great eyes, great hands.
Arizona could have put that ball in the middle of the field. They did not. Avery Johnson to throw, batted away. Dalton Johnson. The lineman being able to swing it that well. Look at this second level blitz, and the Cats get hands on it. And 13. Backed in the shotgun. Checks down after looking left. Came back middle.
He has a touchdown on quarterback power. He keeps it this time. Does the ball come out late?
There you go. So somebody who can go ahead and create some plays. One of the things that we struggled last year was tackling, right? I think with the Johnsons, with Dalton or Teron, that's going to go ahead and improve. That's one thing that I think we also addressed with doing some of the picks that we did. Shoring up that defense. Now we went ahead and essentially probably improved our tackling, and that's the biggest thing. The missed tackles thing is what kills you. But more important now, that middle of the field, I think is going to be more sure up. You're not going to have you know that wide open essentially. That's going to be contested now. You're going to have guys that can come in here and be able to go ahead and make plays and defend these shots over the middle. So I think it's a great thing that we went ahead and got Dalton. But that's kind of what the way that the setup is looking like. where you have Stooks up high and then you have Dalton more down below in the box. So we'll see kind of how they have them played out. But again, Dalton Johnson, safety out of Arizona at pick 150. All right. So we go down, we continue on in the fifth round. And we still have pick 175 at that point, and we ended up selecting Hikazaya Masses corner out of Cal. And man, let me tell you about this kid. Looking at his tape, another kid that shows a lot of potential. Um, it's funny. I did have him ranked up a little bit higher, and it's funny that he was still there at 175. So a lot of these teams, kind of the way that we're drafting, was a little bit weird. So some of these teams are passing up on certain dudes that you're what's going on? Like, why are you guys like, you know, just bypassing all these dudes, right? Um, for example, Deion Burks was still there. Deion Burks didn't go to like the seventh round. We saw Xavier Harris, right, the DT out of Ole Miss. He was there. The thing with him, he had priors, right? So he ran into, he ran into trouble with the law. Teams kind of frowned upon that, especially with like DB stuff and all that. So he fell off a few rounds. I think he ended up going to the seventh. So, but yeah, we would see Harold Perkins. Harold Perkins, I think, didn't go to like middle, late sixth round, somewhere around there. So I had Harold Perkins, somewhere in the fourth round, fifth round. I was like, we're gonna get Harold Perkins, and no, it wasn't it. It wasn't meant to be. So, but picking up a guy like uh, Zeke Masses, and trust me, we have some good depth. And a guy who can also is probably going to go ahead and potentially go ahead and challenge some jobs. We'll see, right? Guy 6'1", 185. Again, another. He has a speed 4.46 speed, so um, can definitely make some plays. And honestly, I think this kid, if given the opportunity, could be the dark horse. You don't know. Um, could definitely be that dark horse. That's kind of how I'm feeling about him. We kind of know what Jamad is, but again, we just don't know. His future is uncertain. We don't know if he's going to go ahead and be able to play this year, or we're going to have to wait until next year to go ahead and really see the amount on the field. That's going to be the question, right? So, in the meantime, you still build that room. So, yeah, Zeke Masses on that pickup, I believe, is one of those dark horses, for sure. And I'll go over that, but yeah, let me go ahead and really quick before I play the film. Shout out to my guy John in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you pulling up. He says, "What do you think about the two quarterbacks we just picked up?" Yeah, I'll go over UDFA's if I have some time. I'm trying to get through this a little bit quick so we can try to cover everything from the draft. But yes, I saw the guys. I mean, look, really quick, it's just depth. It's depth. I don't know if there's any of these guys would be anything that would pan out. Again, Aiden O'Connell's essentially on his last year of his rookie deal. Is he going to be here next year? I don't know. I really don't think he will. And with that being said, you need to go ahead and eventually get another quarterback in the building too. You need that emergency three quarterback. Whether you're going to go ahead and have him on the active roster, or you're going to go ahead and put him on the practice squad. That's yet to be seen, right? But yeah, I mean, really quick from the two quarterbacks that we picked up, UDFA. Hey, it is what it is, and it's cool. We shall see what happens with them. You know, shout out to my guy Raider Ryan in the building, one of my members here at Just Raiders. Appreciate you pulling up, my guy. And if you want to be like Ryan and become a member, hit that link that's pinned up top. It really does help to go ahead and keep the lights on here at Just Raiders. All right. So let me go ahead and pull up the film on Zeke Masses. Here we go. All right. All right, guys. So this is Masses.
Very long. Thank you, Stormy. Lots of good info there. Now, exactly what Stormy was talking about. Fender, but he ends up falling off the route, makes a tremendous play, and this is just his spatial awareness, understanding route concepts. You see how he falls off. Now the blitz. Lopez incomplete.
So
Broken up.
again, guy 6'1", he can go ahead and be with contested balls. Also, ball hawk, he can go ahead and read the offense, read the quarterback's eyes. Not afraid to go ahead and take a shot. You know, he has pretty good hands, but ultimately can go ahead and make blocks like that. You know, make tackles like that. Again, and picking up this guy in the 5th round at 175, it's cool. You know, again, you have depth. That corner room was a little bit anorexic. You know, again, last year. Yeah, let me pull this up. All right, cool. Last year, you know, us just having really in the room, aside from like Darian Porter and Stokes, you know, you had Blue Kelly, you had Greedy Vance, you had Decam. We still have Decam. Holmes is gone, right? So, and you had Eric Stokes. You had at a point you had Bennett, but he got traded away. You had Woods and John Humphrey, right? So um, that's as far as talent wise. You know, you only had maybe 2 or 3 guys that can kind of fall into that category, right? Um, but outside of that, nothing. So now, you know, flip it to now, it's a whole different story. You know, you start having Derek Stokes, Darian Porter. Now, you know, you have guys like Jermon McCoy. You have um, Zeke Masses in there as well. You know, and you're just going to be kind of, you know, building off that. Plus the UDFA's guys that we just went ahead and picked up. So that secondary getting a facelift. There you go. But you know, those are some of the guys that we were talking about earlier. Let's see. Let me put the depth chart up this year, and just kind of looking. Oh, I guess I thought I saw it earlier. All right, and so kind of looking at it now. I mean, you know, having in that corner, you have Eric. You still have you have Eric Stokes. You have Darian Porter, and then you have um, Jermon McCoy. You have Decam there. Zeke Mass is already in there. Uh, Anusim is in there. So a little bit more talent added to that room, you know. So I'm for it. I'm for it for sure. Okay. Again, appreciate you guys pulling up. Make sure you guys also go ahead and go over to my guy Shifty QB1 on X. It goes by the handle Raiders 1022. Make sure you guys go ahead and give him a follow. with the fire content as well. But there you go. Zeke Masses, corner out of Cal at 175. And for me, one of the dark horses here. So don't sleep on that guy. Given the opportunity, I think he's going to go ahead and really prove it out there. So definitely got to go ahead and kind of watch out for. So there you go. So we ended up getting, well, I moved up ahead. Oh well. All right, but we ended up getting done with the fifth round. We enter the sixth round um with pick 185. So when pick 185 came around, we ended up trading back because that's we essentially had pick 185 and that was it. That was going to be our draft. We're going to be done. We traded two away, 219. I'm sorry, I think it was 219. Yes, 219 away. So we didn't have any more picks. We didn't have that second 6th round pick, and that seventh was gone. We did some willing and dealing to go ahead and kind of move up and down the board. And so, but at pick 195, we ended up training back 10 spots to go ahead and, uh, you know, pick up Malik Benson. And we were talking about this uh, with Farrell and Rundown. We're saying that, let's see what they're going to do. Let's see if they're going to go ahead and actually pick up a wide receiver. And Rundown, we gave up, bro. I was like, yeah, bro, I'm with you. I don't think we're going to pick up a wide receiver. I don't think we're going to pick up a wide receiver anymore. So I already went ahead and came to terms alongside the Rundown. We're not going to pick up a wide receiver. And then guess what happened at pick 195? The Raiders selected Malik Benson, wide receiver out of Oregon, and I think this is a really really great pickup. Um, a lot of people obviously had us kind of eyeing. We were really eyeing, I think, and if the scenario probably offered itself, we probably would have drafted Zach Branch, right? Multiple reasons to draft Zach Branch, but in his own right. He got a speedster. Obviously we don't. I don't know if Trey Tucker's still going to be here next year. I think he's going to be on his fine. I think he's on his final year of his contract. Let me see here. And I will tell you. Yes, he is on his final year of his contract. And so next year in 2027, he will be a free agent. So with that being said, our mind, he probably won't be back next year, right? We're gonna kind of take a wild guess here. I don't know if he's necessarily gonna be back. So you have the Raiders already kind of thinking with that in mind and possibly going out and drafting his quote unquote replacement in Zach Branch. But Zach Branch went early in that third round too, but he went early in that third. After 67, I think he got picked like 70, like 70s, like late 70s, 80s, around there. I think I want to say more 80s he got picked. And I was like, fuck, he's gone. And I was like, oh well, all right. We'll see what we can do, right? And there was still again a lot of good players still lying around. And but yeah, we did not end up getting a wide receiver until pick 195, early-ish, sort of in the 6th round. So, but we still ended up getting a wide receiver and a speedster, a guy who can, most importantly, and this is where the value lies, play special teams. The guy can play special teams. 6'1", 190, 4.37 speed. Great hands. Runs really good routes. Special teams guy, and he's going to be that speedster. So you essentially kind of get an upgrade from Trey Tucker. Obviously, little Trey Tucker. My guy's like, I think he's listed at 5'9", which is all good, but Malik's a little bit taller, 6'1" or 6 foot, depends. Some of these guys are funny, 5'10" and 7/8. Oh, that's a little bit of an inside joke, Leo. But yeah, I mean, even at 6 foot, if he's not 6'1", even if he's really like 6 foot, then there you go, 5'11". You got a little bit of height, right? Um, but yeah, the punt return is probably going to be the thing where it's kind of go ahead and separate, separate them a little bit more. And this is kind of where their value lies. So let me go ahead and pull up the film on Malik Benson again. Pick 195, wide receiver from Oregon. So here we go.
Here to left. Moore. Ball's out. Touchdown. He's got a crack at this one from the 16. Malik Benson across the 40.
There you go, and that's what I was talking about. That punt return.
Malik Benson.
And the dude is a threat when you kick to him. When he's out there returning. So yeah, it's just a guy to go ahead and kind of watch out for. But
Over the accolades. 2 times again here. Dante Moore runs up. He's got a deep ball down the sideline for Benson. Less than a half minute. Dante Moore throws. Oh, what a catch and throw!
And honestly, y'all, I was surprised he was still there in the 6th freaking round, because I was like, what's going on? Why hasn't any? But again, Burks was still there, and Benson was still there, and so I was like, why hasn't anybody went after these guys, right? But it was a kind of a heavy defense type of draft. So, but Malik was still there, and there you go. Spytech pulled the trigger. He pulled the trigger, and he was able to go ahead and draft Malik Benson at pick 195. All right, y'all. Let's go ahead and continue on. Again, now we're in the 7th round, the last pick, and I thought I was gonna be done, man. But I'm like, nope, we got that extra pick. We got pick 229 from that trade back. I forgot who we traded. I think it was Indianapolis that we traded back with, and we ended up getting 195 and 229. So at 229, and remember, if you guys were tapping in, I was like, and everybody too, when the fuck are we gonna go ahead and actually get a nose tackle? When are we gonna get a defensive tackle, right? And we're probably like, well, maybe they like these guys. They like Tonka and Pegues. They maybe feel some type of confidence in these guys. And even though I think Adam Butler is listed as the de facto nose at the moment, we're all thought like, hey, since he's not really a nose guy, he can play the position, but that's not his forte. They're probably going to go ahead and actually draft nose, but that didn't happen. It's funny, we had Caden McDonald literally in the palm of our hand. And shout out to Will. He was super pissed when the trade back happened and Texas select Caden McDonald. But we had different guys. We had Willie, not Willie, excuse me, Lee Hunter, and then we had Big Citrus was available in rounds 2 and 3, and we didn't draft those guys. We had uh, Corleone was a name that I kept saying like maybe we're probably gonna get Corleone. We'll see, and we didn't. There's other guys that were available too, and it was just like no, no until again pick 229. We decided to go ahead and eventually draft our nose tackle or a nose tackle and Brandon Cleveland nose tackle out of NC State. So we finally end up pulling the trigger on him, and we ended up getting the nose tackle. Hang on one second, y'all. Let me go ahead and there you go. Yeah, so we finally end up getting um, getting getting a nose tackle. Seventh round, but we ended up getting a nose tackle. So obviously it's a seventh round pick. You're not, you can only expect so much from seventh round picks. But the kid has talent. There's some talent there. Not gonna lie. And we're gonna go ahead and play the tape and let the tape kind of, dictate itself. And then you guys will let me know kind of how you feel about it. So, this is Brandon Cleveland at pick 229 in the seventh round. So it's a little bit of tape by him.
Big nose tackle, rubbing that belly. Castle again, snapped up. The pocket collapses around Lopez, and it's Brandon Cleveland. Being chased and wrapped up and taken down. Castle, nothing doing. Cleveland.
So I believe this guy, from what I saw, what I read, um, what I read on Saturday. So he plays the 0 and 4 technique. So um, there's again there's some talent there. Not saying that this guy's completely uh you know uh, uh, a loss, but there could be something there. Obviously, he'll probably be more of a depth piece as opposed to starting guy. Um, but let me kind of go ahead and that was a little bit of tape. Let me go ahead and pull up some pull up his attributes real quick. Hang on one second. Oh, what is it now? Okay. There we go. All right. So for Brandon, um, this guy sits heavy at the tack point and really gets moved off his spot. He has heavy hands, as you guys saw in the film. Jolts blockers on contact, disrupting their timing. Get anchor against double team split combos when he gets leverage early. Tackles with conviction and wraps up in tight spaces. Flashes a club swipe combo to clear single blocks against a run. Improved defender on improved run defender each year on film. Reads flow as better as a senior. Added significant mass without losing functional movement in his role. Obviously, if his weaknesses are he's very limited straight line speed, shows up in chase situations, short arms, so allows the guards to go ahead and kind of you know get a lock on him, kind of steer him. He's a pass his pass rush is shallow, needs improvement. His first step off the snap is slow. He has lateral mobility that against his own run schemes and cutback lanes. He missed tackle spike during his first year as a starter. So obviously with the 7th round pick, there's work to be there's quite a bit of work to be done. But again, you know, you kind of know what you kind of get when you're drafting a guy in the 7th round. I mean, look at Cody Lindenberg. We're still waiting to see what happens with him. A guy that's a 7th round pick as well. We picked him up last year. We really haven't seen a whole lot of Cody. So, with some of these guys, it's a wait and see. I think for him, for his position, we'll probably see him a little bit more. I probably see him more as a rotational piece. Could there be potential there? I don't know. But looking at the film, it could be. It all depends, what they do from now to the beginning of the season. But you probably see him more as a rotational guy, in my opinion. So, but yeah, that's that's all 7. That's all the draft picks. I believe. What is it? 10 draft picks, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, 10. All right. You guys, let me know what you guys think about the draft we just had, just that we just done. How do you guys feel about it? Do you guys what do you grade it? Do you grade it A, B, C, D, F? You guys think we, you know, uh spy tech, shit the bed? Like what do you guys how do you guys feeling about that? Let me know down below. I'm gonna go ahead and put up a poll. Oops, grade this. Okay, here we go. So I'm gonna put A, B, C, and D. It won't let me do F. But hopefully nobody should really grade it. But if you do feel like it's an F, tell me why. Why do you think we literally, had an F for the whole draft? That's a and mind you, if you're an actual Raider fan and you're grading our draft on an F, I definitely want to know why. I'm very curious to know why. And obviously, it'll make sense if you're not a Raider fan, right? Yeah, it'll make a little bit of sense to probably, well, at least me, but probably most of us, if not all of us. So there you go. All right, polls up, y'all. Make sure you guys go ahead and cast your vote. If you guys are on X and watching, make sure you guys head on over to YouTube and go ahead and cast that vote. That's over there. And if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you guys hit that like and hit that subscribe if you haven't done so already. It really does help to go ahead and really get the channel out there and really get the show out to the YouTube universe. So again, appreciate you guys tapping in, rocking with me on this Tuesday night. Over here, just reviewing what we did last week. So you guys let me know down in the chat. And then we'll go over the grades in just a bit as well. So all right. But the poll is up now. Let's see. Shout out to my guy James. Y'all already know. He's already with the hold on, dog. Let me do it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Appreciate you, my guy, pulling up and tapping in. Let's see here. Raider Aid says our secondary will be a no-fly zone. Nevada's new Area 51. Facts, my guy. Facts. Yes, sir. Let's see here. He says that when they drafted the nose tackle last, I was like, oh no, we got Cleveland Brown. Yeah, no, I was like, damn, finally we get to go ahead and draft the nose tackle. Jesus Christ. I mean, I don't like the never, bro. But we'll see. They I kind of want to know, like, or if I have to read the tea leaves, they like somebody there to go ahead and be the starter. Or somebody who they feel is potentially gonna be able to be a starter and be effective. Or they're just going to be running a different scheme where you're going to have different guys, um, you know, coming in. So it could be a plethora of things. So yeah, we shall see. All right, but you give it a solid A. Okay, there you go. UDFA says A minus. Okay, that's what's up. But yeah, let's go ahead and continue on here. And again, make sure you guys go ahead and grade this draft, not the draft that I did, but the Raiders draft they just concluded A, B, C, D, or F. Make sure you guys go ahead and cast your vote if you're on the streams here on YouTube. Go ahead and tap into those. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on. Hang on, let me pull that up. Okay, here we go. This is the one that I want. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the UDFA signings. So I made a little bit of time to go ahead and do that. We have good on time, so we're cool. We're rocking and rolling. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about the UDFA. Shout out to Ryan McFadden. Make sure you guys go ahead and give him a follow. He's over on X, covering for ESPN. So make sure you guys go ahead and tap in. All right. So let's go ahead and look at the UDFA signings that we did later that day and then over the weekend. So right now, and again, this is up until I believe the 25th. We went ahead and ended up picking up we ended up reuniting Fernando with one of his running back Roman Hembley was signed UDFA to the Raiders. Wide receiver EJ Williams, Isaiah Jetta, offensive tackle, corner Caleb Alford, and then I told y'all hold on. I told y'all we were gonna get a fucking kicker in UDFA, and sure enough, we ended up getting shout out to I forgot who wanted Tokyo Toe. I think it was Greg. I could be wrong, but or it was Bueno. They wanted Tokyo Toe Kinze Matasua. And when I saw that, I was like,
Yes! Hell yeah! Hey, come on, baby! Come on! Yes! Come on! Ah! Yes! Yeah!
head over kicker. What has the world come to? But since we got no more Daniel Carlson, he gone. And we got Matt Gay. We needed a kicker. So we got Tokyo Toe out of Hawaii, Kenzie Matasua. And then we end up picking up quarterback Sawyer Robertson, safety Tanner Wall, another, and this is again, I don't know a whole lot about these guys, so I couldn't really speak on it too much. But we ended up getting quarterback Jacob Clark. We picked up edge Cian Sloan, a tight end, and Matt Lauder. I did kind of see his name float around leading up into the draft. And then offensive line Justin Pickett, and then safety Devin Lafayette, and then we picked up Chase Roberts, wide receiver. All right, So there you have it. That's the current UDFA signing. Maybe I'm missing one, but I think that's the current list. Um, so, what do you guys think about that? I mean, look, um, Roman Hembley. I think off the bat, that's a really good signing. We got a third running back, um, if not fourth. I don't know if um, what's his name is going to go ahead and be able to um, uh, what's his name is already gone. You have Dylan Lobby, which we know we're kind of Dylan Lobby kind of what his forte is. It's not running back, dog. Um, well, he needs more work with them holding out the damn ball. But he's currently listed as a third running back, and they have Chris Collier, the fourth one. So Hambley will probably be that either third or fourth back, Lobby or Collier. I see Lobby sticking around if he does stick around as a special teams guy. This is kind of where really he's gonna find his place if he stays around as a Raider. So um, we'll see. We'll see. But I do like Hembley as the undrafted free agent signing. Obviously, Tokyo Toe. Let's go Tokyo Toe being another one as well. So I'm good with it. And then obviously everybody else, we got some offensive tackle. We got an offensive tackle and then another lineman and Isaiah Jetta and then Justin Pickett. So, as far as the linemen, depth pieces, and it's always good to go ahead and bring in more guys for that. The wide receivers, again, guys going undrafted, probably going to be that depth, probably be special teams guys. So, um, kind of, we'll see kind of where they fall, but yeah, this is the current UDFA signings. You guys, let me know what you guys think about it. But let's see. I think that's it. Let me double check if anybody else got signed. Okay, so a couple more guys did get picked up. Here I'll post this one up. Shout out to Raiders Lead. Also, make sure you guys go ahead and give them a follow. I'll post this back up. So they end up picking. Yes, I forgot about him. So we end up picking another defensive tackle in Gary Smith, the third out of UCLA, and then we ended up picking up. Let's see. I think it was that long snapper Tyler Zuzanski out of Penn State. We picked up safety Tanner Wall. We picked up wide receiver Corey Rutger Jr. out of Arkansas State. And then we picked up another linebacker, Xavier Soray Jr. out of Arkansas. And I did see him kind of around that sixth, seventh round mark. So I'm glad we ended up getting another linebacker, and it ended up working out where we got some guy in UDFA. We also picked up another quarterback. We already said Jacob Clark. My bad. We ended up picking up, another linebacker in Chris Thomas out of Maine. So a couple more moves to be made. So obviously UDFA guys, I mean, some of these guys could be diamonds in the rough. Some of these guys, it just may not work out. It just all depends, right? But that's kind of currently what it looks like. So shout out to, again, Raiders Lead. Make sure you guys go ahead and give them a follow on X. If you guys are on X, especially all my peeps in X, make sure you guys go ahead and repost the stream and go ahead and give my guy a follow. All right. Let's see here. Shout out to my guy Chewy in the building. What is good, my guy? Appreciate you tapping in. Let's see. Raider said it will be good if the USDA, or I think you meant UDFA, wide receiver from Indiana makes the team. Yeah, let's see. Let's see if Williams. Yeah, so like two guys from Indiana get reunited with Fernando, Hambley and Williams. Forgot about that. Chewy says, hopefully his toe doesn't break fast. Hopefully his toe doesn't break at all, dog. That would suck. So yeah. It would be good if the UD, but yeah, there you go. There you go. So we'll see. You never know. Some of these guys, I mean, I don't think he'll start, bro, but he might be a depth piece or he might be a rotational guy. He might be a special teams guy. You don't know. So there's different ways that these guys might make the team. Also, too, um, obviously a 53-man roster. Not everybody's gonna be able to go ahead and make the cut, right? If some of these guys can go ahead and potentially stick around and be invited to go ahead and be a part of the practice squad, right? Um, that could be another possibility. And if that's the case, then they may or may not ever get the shot to go ahead and come up and play. So yeah, it's just kind of all depends, man. But yeah. Chewy says, I think Hembley was a steal though. I mean, yeah, bro. I mean, honestly, I saw like there was still a lot of running backs available even by the time I logged off. Once we made our pick, there's still some guys, and I knew there was gonna be some guys that are gonna go UDFA. Not everybody was gonna pick them up. And especially with the draft last year, how was the running back class was kind of heavy and talented. A lot of these teams were able to go ahead and get their guys later on. So, with having another year of good quality guys coming out, there was going to be some guys that are going to be left over. There was going to be some guys that were probably not even going to be drafted that are probably pretty good, that you're going to be able to go ahead and pick up, right? So, but yeah, it's just all depends. But this is kind of what it looks like as far as the UDFAs are concerned, and then we're gonna go ahead and let me post this up again. Appreciate you guys rocking with me on this Tuesday night. Again, if you guys haven't done so already, make sure you guys hit that like, hit that subscribe button. I bet on this channel, and share it on all social media platforms. All right, y'all. We're gonna go ahead and cap it off with this. The jersey numbers are out, so the rookies have, at least the draft rookies have officially gotten their numbers for the time being, right? And that's if they make the team. But let me go ahead and post this up. And shout out to Nick Walters on X. Make sure you guys go ahead and give him a follow. But these are the current rookie numbers. So as you see here, Mendoza getting his 15. Let me take this off. All right. So Mendoza getting 15. Stukes going 31. We have Benson rocking the 19. Mike Washington is going to be rocking 30. Love that number, bro. Love that number. Crawford, 42. You got Zun is going to be rocking 6. He's going to be able to go ahead and keep his 66. McCoy is going to be going 28. Massis is going to be rocking 35. Johnson is still going to be able to go ahead and rock his 43. And then Cleveland, I believe he was 90, so he's going to stay at 90 for his. So there you go. So anybody and everybody who wants that Mendoza jersey, that 15 is going to be available. So there you go. And it's going to be better than it can be 10 at least. Even if this guy ends up second, I think he's still going to be better than the previous guy who wore 15. So there you go. Let me know how you guys think about the numbers. How you guys feeling the numbers? But there you have it. I know there were some people talking about um, if McCoy was going to wear 9, he might. That was Tyree's number, and it is available. It is available, but you never know. He might rock that 2-8. That's cool. There you go. 2-8's cool. So I like the numbers. I like the numbers. Sticks with 31. That's gonna be cool. Masters 35 is gonna be cool. I like that Crawford and Johnson running 41, 42 and 43. And then Bench is gonna be that 19. There you go. So there you have it. All right. But again, appreciate you guys pulling up and tapping in on this Tuesday night. Again, if you guys haven't done so, make sure you guys hit that like, hit the subscribe button, share it on all platforms as well. But that is pretty much it for today. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of tap in with a poll. So if you guys didn't get the chance to go ahead and cast your vote, make sure you run over now. Run. Don't wait. Cast your vote. Let your voice be heard. So currently on the vertical stream, 33 votes. It's actually tied. It's actually a three-way tie for A, B, and C for 33% that grade this draft across the board. There you go. It's funny. 0% for D. I don't know if there was an F rating here, but okay, hopefully not. For the horizontal stream, it's 50% give it an A, 38% give it a B, and then 12% give it a C, and then nothing for D. And I didn't see any F, so there you go. So crazy. For those who gave it a C, I kind of want to know why. I'm kind of curious. Why did you guys feel that it deserves a C? And for those catching the replay, tell me what you think is a C. If you feel if it's a C. If you feel it's a D, tell me what you think is a D. If it's an A, what do you think it's an A? I don't think there's a wrong answer for that. Well, unless it's an F, because that means we totally fucked this up. That means you were not for Mendoza, and you don't like none of the picks that we picked. It's kind of a sure up. That's it. If you're a fan, I'll be surprised. If you're not a fan, then it makes sense again. But you guys let me know down in the comment section down below what you guys think about this draft. All right. So draft is over. Done. Now we can, we know Mendoza's in. He's the guy, right? We kind of know more or less the direction that this organization is going to go with Fernando Mendoza. He's probably going to most likely go ahead and sit behind Kirk Cousins for majority of the season, half of the season. We'll see. But Mendoza's in. Either way, we ended up beefing up our secondary, beefing up our defense, and we picked up some guys that we needed along the way as well. So overall, this draft has been pretty solid. I give it a B plus. Give it a B plus. I don't want to give it an A until I see some of these guys kind of see how they pan out. And I'm talking about the guys who we picked up kind of early on. Probably, I'm saying from rounds 1 to 4. I kind of want to see how these guys pan out. And again, keep an eye out on those dark horses. Zeke Masses, Malik Benson. I feel those guys could be something. We'll see. I don't know, but you definitely don't want to sleep on these guys. They could definitely shake shit up. So I think you just have to be given that opportunity. And mind you, we still got the dudes from last year. We still have Jack Bash, or depending, I know how Leo feels about him, but we still have Jack Bash. We still have Darian Porter. We still have Caleb Rogers. We still have Charles Grant, Tonka Hemingway. We have Dante Thornton, and we do kind of know where Dante. We know what Dante is at this moment. It doesn't mean he'll still be at this season. It could change. He can improve, right? Hopefully he does. I'm rooting for the guy. I hope he does improve this year, right? We have JJ Pegues, another guy as well. So Cody Lindenberg, that he's still around. So we shall see kind of how these guys do. You have guys like Cedric Jackson. I like Cedric Jackson. I think if given the opportunity, that dude might also um, be that dark horse guy. He kind of seems like it a little bit. Again, the offense wasn't too keen last year, so maybe excuse me with a couple of new guys that might change. Who knows? Got Brendan Rice as well. Everybody forgot about Brendan Rice. So that's Jerry Rice's son. He's there. I haven't even seen that dude even play. We'll see what happens, man. But you know, bring in new blood, and and us literally starting uh many. I think was it voluntary OTAs, and I think we start off with rookie camp really really soon. I got to go ahead and get the date on that. Um, and then we go into OTAs, and then we get into I think it's rookie camp, voluntary OTAs, and there's a break, and then we start mandatory OTAs, and then next thing you know, training camp. We start training camp, and then we get ready for preseason, and then preseason starts. We start looking at the season. This team, they did a lot of moves to go ahead and not only prepare for the future and build on the future because these are the foundational stuff, but you know they did I think enough to go ahead and improve from we improve the season from how we performed last year for sure. Um, it could be anywhere 5 games, 6 games, possibly 7 games. Who knows, right? Again, I don't want to go ahead and put a number out there onto the season for the reason being is that we're still in a rebuild. We're still, trying to go ahead and create an identity, right? This is year one for Clint Kubiak. This is year two for John Spytek, but this is year one for we have a lot of new coaches in the building, right? Some of these coaches they've worked with one another, but they haven't worked with these players. That's a big thing. Though they might have the continuity with themselves, they're still trying to go ahead and get to know the guys in the locker room. And then we got new faces in the locker room, so all that's going to go ahead and take time, right? So we're not going to go ahead and get it right year one. I don't expect, and if we do, great. That's fucking icing on the cake. That's cherry, bro. I'll take that all day, every day. But I'm not expecting a whole lot, but just to go ahead and look better out in the field, whether it's a win or loss, it's all good. I just want us to go ahead and put a better product on the field, and that means performance. And if we happen to go ahead and win a few extra games, great. And if we don't, that's okay too. But I feel that we're going to go ahead and win more than 3 games this year. So, again, it's a rebuild, it's a building. It's going to take some time, but I think we've done quite a bit to go ahead and literally piss on somebody's Cheerios this season. I really do feel that. So whether it's going to be the Chargers or the Chiefs, Broncos, we'll see. We'll see. I would love to be that team that also spoils playoff hopes for some of these teams, right? Could be that scenario. So we just never know. Just never know. But I think we're on the right path, and this was a really solid draft. Again, I give it a B plus. Um, A minus, all the same thing to me. If you want to go ahead and put it that way, but for me, I don't want to go ahead and put it into that real A category until I see some of these guys go ahead and start um, getting some reps in and see how they kind of pan out in that sense. So we'll see. But other than that, appreciate you guys pulling up. Like I already said, at first I didn't know the names, but I did research and was pleasantly surprised. Yep, sometimes that's kind of how it goes, bro. Um, again, for me, for Zen, wasn't I didn't know a whole lot about the guy, but also too, it's like knowing like drafting a guy at 91 in the third round, there has to be some talent. Dude can't just straight up suck, right? Unless we completely whiffed on the pick. But my thing was that we already got a couple linemen, and I felt that barring the talent that was still there at that time, could have picked up a different position, could have picked up a different player of something that we need more. But that's just me. It's all good, Again, I said it too. I gotta hear the reasoning behind this, and then kind of when they said the reason, I'm like, all right, it makes a little bit more sense. So, but I'm still waiting to see type of dude. But yeah, it is what it is. All right, y'all. But that pretty much wraps it up for me. Been on for 2 hours now. We're gonna go ahead and head on out. But make sure you guys go ahead and pull up for the Rated Connection. We're gonna be tapping back in. It looks like we're gonna be tapping in on Thursday. So this is every damn Wednesday, but maybe not this time. It looks like we're gonna go ahead and be tapping in on Thursday. That's kind of what the guys have been kind of talking about in our group chat. So make sure you guys go ahead and hit that notification on the channel, so that way you guys be up to date whether we're gonna go on tomorrow or Thursday. And we'll be back all together. We'll hear about Jeff's escapades out in Pittsburgh, all the crazy stuff that he went ahead and did out there. He's probably with his little F Mendoza little sign or something like that, or bomb the pick or whatever, trade back the pick, whatever he wanted to put up in that little thing. I'm just kidding. I don't know. But I didn't. But I know he was out there. He had a good time. We'll hear about Leo and his he did his draft party out in Camarillo and in Cali. So we'll hear about that. And then y'all know Nate was rocking with me on to day one. So me and Nate will talk about day one, and I think he tapped in a little bit on day two as well. So we'll go ahead and talk about that, and we'll talk about over the draft picks and kind of how this offseason is starting to go ahead and shape out. And obviously, with the current free agents still out there available, could there be a possible pickup at wide receiver? You never know. You never know. This team might take a flyer out on some of these wide receiver free agents that are still currently out there. Could definitely be just to let you know, Jawan Jennings. I think Deebo Samuels is still out there. I think Diggs is still out there. So I think Diggs and Cousins have some history. So you never know. You never know. We'll talk about that on the next show. We'll start going over some of these free agents and what could be their possibilities. You already know it's gonna be rumor season. The rumor season's already in full effect. So don't be surprised. There's gonna be some stuff flying around. So, but we'll talk about that and more always on the next one. But that is it for me, y'all. Again, make sure you guys go ahead and hit that like, hit that subscribe on this channel. I will tap in later this week with the guys. We'll be doing the Raider Connection most likely probably on Thursday. So turn on notice for that one. But we did it, y'all. We're done. We are done. And I don't know. I think we in good shape for sure. So maybe we'll go ahead and have
Smells like victory.
maybe we'll have some victories this season. All right, y'all. That's my time. Till next time, y'all. Always remember, just Raiders, baby. Peace.
J Raider, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest. Gas Raider Nation, from Oakland to LA to Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Stand up. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Welcome to the channel. It's called Just Raiders, baby. If you ain't subscribed, then you gotta try. Just Raiders, baby, nothing but love for the Raiders. Been an OG before 93. Shout out to the nation, they always crazy. So nation, ride with me, taking over my style. It's amazing, making hits like Max on the blitz. The silver and black, on the attack. They on the map, if you a fan and you with that. J Raider, the creator with the killer content, hot takes and the dopest. Gas Raider Nation, from Oakland to LA to Vegas. Nothing greater than the Raiders, only facts. Just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, J Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders, just Raiders. Putting on shows like Brock on the go. We just like J Raider, the innovator, making shows like Good Morning Raiders, the originator. Raiders Unfiltered, raw, never censored. The post game reaction, nothing but action. Just Raiders, baby. Just Raiders. Just Raiders, baby. J Raider, the creator with the killer content. Hot takes and the dopest, yes. Raider Nation, the only nation. There ain't no question. Just win, baby. Win, baby. Just win.